What I'm going to show you here are some special tricks and things that maybe I've gone over a little bit in some of the other videos on Inkscape, but I want to reassert the importance of learning all the various little things that you can do and being able to explore this program and all the things you can do. It really has a lot of good help. It has some online tutorial help as well, so you can become quite familiar with it. One of the things that you can do with this is that you, with your scroll, when you click on it and you move up and down, you hit your scroll wheel and you make it go up and down. But there's an option as well where under the File, down here under Inkscape Preferences, you can come in and you can adjust that by going down and selecting the scrolling function here. And you can make it so that the mouse wheel zooms by default and that the left mouse button pans when space is pressed. So let's see what those two things are about. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to close that. So now I'm going to move the scroll wheel, and we can see as I move the scroll wheel that it zooms in, which is the preferred mode that I personally wish to have, because it's much easier to zoom in and move about, and you can get very used to double clicking until you get down to the level that you want to have, and then you can just zoom out and look for some other area on the screen that you want to adjust. And so that's a very useful thing. Now the other thing is that if I press down our left mouse button and I press down the same button, but then when I press the space bar, then I'm panning the whole program around. That's a nice feature to have, so I think I'll keep that one on. And there's one other feature here that I showed you earlier where you can come in, you go to the Inkscape Preferences, and you go down and you select Windows, and down at the bottom there's this little thing that says Zoom when window is resized. And what that does is that when you open up the program and you come in and you see this little postage size picture of your drawing in the middle of the screen, that means that it hasn't been zoomed. Now you can zoom it by pressing the number 5, or you can hit this little icon up here and it'll do the same thing. But it's nice to just have it automatically done for you. Another thing that you can do with filters is you can play all kinds of cool games with filters. Let's say I want to have a drop shadow for a plot. Okay, I really want to dress it up for some client. So I come over here and I choose this rectangle selector, and I choose this right here. So it's selected that rectangle. It hasn't selected the whole plot. I just want to do it for that rectangle. I come up and I choose filters. I come down, I choose shadows and glows, and there's a number of things that I can play with, and it's kind of fun just to see what happens. But I'm going to go for a drop shadow, and I'm going to do this drop shadow, and it gives me some opacities and sizes and different things that I can set up on it. And I'm going to just accept that for what it is, and now I'm going to apply it, and I go close. And you can see that now I have a very cool little shadow, drop shadow, around my plot, and I can move that around and resize it in accordance to my wishes. It oversizes the box of what we're actually doing, but that's only to let you know that there is, oh whoops, see what happened there? I resized the rectangle behind the plot, but I didn't move the whole plot, so I go Control Z, get back to that, and now I'm going to double click down here, and now I'm going to come and move. I want to resize this whole thing here, so I'm going to resize the whole thing, and I've resized my whole plot instead of just the box that was behind it. So explore those filters, play around with them. You may find some things that are really cool and make your plots look super professional.